What is going on, guys? Kyle here from White North Gaming, bringing you guys an NHL 20 Hut team build episode. So recently, I've gotten a few requests just asking me like, what are the best Hut cards to buy and questions of that sort. So I decided I would make a team build episode and just show you guys my team, show you guys the cards I like to use in Hut, and kind of give you some recommendations for your team. So it's going to be a shorter video, but I'm just going to go over some of the players. So my first line, I was lucky enough to pick Martin Neckash in the fantasy hockey selection at the beginning of the season. So I got this 95 on my team. Obviously, might be a little bit of an unrealistic card for some of you guys because I know he's pretty expensive, the tradable version. I was lucky enough to get the untradeable for free, but I really like his card. He's been on my team this entire Hut season, and he's been great. But as for the other two guys, so I recently picked up Joe Thornton. I really like him. He's a big player, 6'4", 220, and he's got good skating stats. He's really hard to bump off the puck. That's one of the reasons why I like him. I would probably recommend you play him at center, but right now I like my center, so I have him on the wing for starters here, so I'm going to try him out there. I also recently picked up Dave Anderchek. He's quite good as well, kind of the same build as Thornton, 6'4", 220, just another big body that is tough to bump off the puck. And he's actually relatively affordable for a 94. He's only like 200K, so I definitely recommend you getting him. Thornton's a little bit more expensive, like 275. But definitely grab Anderchek, and if you can, I would suggest Thornton as well. So for my second line, I've got Mario Lemieux. I did his icon tradable to the 91, and then I upgraded to the 95. He's a great card. Once again, very similar to Thornton and Anderchuk, 6'4", 225. Again, really hard to bump off the puck, and he's also got some speed. So yeah, he's a great player. Not as fast, but just a big body and good to carry the puck. The next player, Jason Arnett, I really recommend you guys get him. He goes for around 200K, I think. He's 6'5", 220, one of the best centermen in the game. He's got 99 faceoffs, so he's great on the draw and another big body who can score goals. And then on the right wing, I've got Ovi. I love Ovi. Once again, as you can tell, there's a bit of a recurring theme on my team, and it's big bodies. And this year in the game, you kind of have to play with big bodies if you want to win games. That's just the meta this year. So Ovi's great. He can score goals, and he's big. So for my third line, I don't love my third line as much. I've got Sam Anis here. He's a short guy, 5'8". He's super fast, but like very easy to get hit. So I don't know how much I recommend getting him. I pulled him in a pack, I believe. So I'm probably going to end up selling him soon. As for Spezza, I love Spezza. He's another guy with 99 faceoffs, and he's relatively big at 6'3". He can score goals for me, so I definitely recommend you grab him. On the wing, I've got Marian Hossa. He's a smaller guy, so it doesn't really fit my build as much. He's still 6'1", but he's not like big enough to not get knocked off the puck. But he has scored quite a bit for me, so I like him. He goes for about 200K, I believe, so he's worth getting. He's not one of my top priority players that I would recommend. And then moving on to our third line, we've got Austin Matthews. He's another like relatively big guy. His face-offs aren't great, so I don't recommend you play him on center. I would say put him on the wing, but right now I don't have another fourth-line center to replace him with. Next, we got Duclair. Now, he's 5'11", so not big at all, but this year I've been using him since the All-Star break, and he's been great for me. He scores a lot of goals. He's fast, so he's worth picking up for like a fourth-line role if you don't need a big guy there. And then my last forward is Pacioretty, who's also not that big. I mean, he's 6'2", so he's relatively big, but he scores a lot of goals for me as well. So that's a decent pickup, and he's only like 100K. All right, so now moving on to my defensemen. Defensemen are key for sure this year, and I mean, I'm sure it's no secret, but you need big D man. So right now I'm playing with my lefty on the right side and righty on the left side, just trying it out because one-timers work really well this year. But Brandon Carlo, he is probably my favorite defenseman on the team. 6'5" and 99 skating. He's a beast out there. Throws hits and is really fast, and he's got a good shot too. 92 Hedman's also great. No complaints about him. He's not as fast as Carlo, and he's a little bit bigger, but a little bit slower. But I definitely recommend getting him. Next, we got Dougie Hamilton. A lot of guys in the community like using Dougie. I haven't been crazy about him so far, especially for his price because he's like close to 300K, but he definitely gets the job done. Travis Sanheim, I picked him up recently. I really like him. He's 6'3", so not as big as my other defenseman, but he's really quick and he's got a great shot. So that's definitely a guy I recommend picking up. He's only like 180K as well, so he's relatively cheap and a great player. On my third line D, I've got Tyler Myers. This card is potentially one of the fastest in the game, and he's 6'8", so it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but he's really fast. I'm not as high on him as some of the other players in the community are, but I do like him for sure. I find he takes a lot of penalties for me, but he's a huge body and once again a ton of speed. And then as for my final defenseman, I picked up 88 Team of the Week Chara the other day just to test him out. I don't think I'm going to end up keeping him. He seems too slow. He's obviously huge out there at 6'9", 250, but he's just too slow on transitions and stuff like that. So I'm definitely looking for somebody to replace him with. Before I was using 85 Meebus Winter National Team. He was 6'9" as well, but 99 skating. But I think I'm going to change it as well and pick up somebody better. So that is the defenseman. Now moving on to our goalie. So right now I'm using Nico Dawes, 92 team of the season. He is definitely one of the best goalies in the game, but I'll tell you right now, for goalies, they really don't make a difference as long as you have a tall goalie, in all honesty. It seems like this year goalies let in a ton of shots, so all you can really look for is a tall goalie. I've liked him so far, but they just released a brand new card. I think it's Sogard of the new like passport set or something like that, and he's 6'7", so I might try him out. But if you can pick up Dawes, it's definitely worth trying. Um, he's quite good and a big player, and since he's the team of the season, he'll keep upgrading each month. And so yeah, guys, just another look at my team here. So the cards I recommend most are Anderchuk, Ovi, Arnott, Spezza, and then a cheap solution for your fourth line, either Pacioretty or Duclair. And then on defense, the cards I recommend most are Carlo, who goes for around 250K, I believe. Sanheim, 180K. And then Myers is worth picking up at 200K. And as for goalie, once again, definitely try out Dawes if you can afford him. I know he's pretty expensive, like 250K. Otherwise, look for the Sogard goalie. I think he's only like 130K, and he's worth trying out. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about players that I've used before or just players that you want to try out and are thinking of buying, feel free to leave it in the comments. Once again, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.